Good afternoon, good evening, or good morning whenever you see this. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. I don't think I put my lipstick on straight. There we go. So, welcome everybody. And why am I on this evening? It's like, whoa, what is she up to now? Well, I wanted to explain a few things. And why I like astrology so much and why is astrology such it's so fascinating to me. And one of the reasons is that when things happen and you see the aspects of where the planets are and they something happens here on earth and you're just like, wow, okay, that sure is in a correspondence to what is as above so below. One of the things the big One of the big things that's coming up this year, and you might have heard me mention it once or twice, about the United States Pluto return. And what does that mean? And what is it all about? So let me see if I can pull it up. Whoops. And share it. I'm going to do a share screen with you. So this is a chart um, that most astrologers use for the United States. And so this chart is for July 4th, 1776 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania at 5:10 p.m. So I'm going to pull this up, do a share screen. There we go. There we go. Let me see if I can pull that up a little bit more so you can get a little bit better picture. There we go. So this here is the chart of the United States. Now, you might be saying, okay, why is she pulling it up? What does this all mean? What is she up to now? Oh, mama. Well, one of the reasons I pulled it up is to give you an idea of what's going to be why the next few months or the next 6 months are so vitally important to us and what we need to be looking forward or looking at and seeing how things unfold for us all. Now, one of the things that I find totally fascinating is when I look at this chart, is that many times astrologers have used this for pinpointing different activities that have happened throughout the United States. One particularly, which is something that I believe most all of us have lived through and have seen that change, was here we have the let's see if I can do this. I pull this into a bigger screen. I'm hoping it's going to be a bigger screen for you. So I'm hoping all of this is a bigger screen for all of you. So we have here the ascendant, and then we have the DC. On 9/11, Pluto hit the ascendant at exactly 12 degrees. Opposite at on 9/11 was Saturn at 14 degrees. Sagittarius rules airplanes. Saturn rules um, buildings, and in Gemini here, which is twins. So on 9/11, we had Pluto here in Sagittarius, and anything that hits the ascendant in your chart really has significant meaning. It's a big thing, right? So anytime that happens, we know that there's something significant that that's happening in your life at that time. Now, when Pluto hit there, no, we knew there was something significant that was going to happen as Pluto hit the 12 degrees. As it hit the 12 degrees in 21 minutes, it actually triggered something to do with airplanes. So we thought, well, maybe something to do with airplanes. We weren't too sure. And then with Saturn across the way, okay, we know that Saturn rules construction, buildings, and here we had the twins. So the twin towers on 9/11 with an airplane. Pretty weird, right? You're just thinking, oh, wow, you're just pulling that out of your hat. Well, I'm sorry, I can't move a planet anywhere else where a planet's going to go. So now let's move on to why I want to talk about what's going to be happening for the next month over, why October is so important. But I'm going to explain a few things. So it might get a little technical. And I know some of these glyphs are quite a lot. One of the first things I just want to show you is Pluto. Pluto's in the second house. Second house all has to do with money, um, building of money, transits, and all of that. So the second house is ruled by Taurus, which is Venus, and the second house has to do with money. And so we have Pluto here. Now, Pluto has a 246 years that it takes to go around. So now Pluto's coming down and it's coming back down, uh, you know, down into the under part of the chart. And this is 27 degrees it affects. What does it affect? It affects the world point. So the one thing about what happened, with making this chart was when the colonists were breaking away. No representation, no taxation. All men equal, all rights by God. We are all equal under the eyes of God. And this is part of the Constitution that was written during 1776, and life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now, Pluto is all about debt, default, deficiencies, and taxes. And Pluto, it falls into the second house. And this is about the country's economy, finances, values, and many other events within the second house. And coming down to the natal Pluto, transiting, and then we have a transiting Pluto, which I don't have up here, but the transiting Pluto is at 24 degrees. We are already feeling this energy. And down the track, it's going to become exact, but it's going to come exact on February 20th, 2022. Those are pretty much master numbers. And they are numbers that do have meaning. So I'm not a numerologist. That's one thing I'm not. I'm not a numerologist. So anybody who's out there can actually work on those numbers and they can let me know what it actually, what the true significance of it all is. So I'm going to stop the share. Stop the share. So you can now just see me. Just see me. So this is a powerful time. And what it means with this Pluto transiting onto the natal Pluto is for death and transformation and rebirth. That's what Pluto is. Pluto is death and transformation. It is the phoenix. And transiting Pluto through Capricorn is unearthing, revealing, excavating any corruption that is in any top-down structures. So Pluto, since it's entered into Capricorn, has been digging up anything to do with corruption, anything to do with corporations, governments, institutions, what isn't working well. And this is all to do with, how it's related to the banking and even the financial system. Now, Pluto, when it's unearthing this this energy, and we're already in this. The thing is that Pluto isn't coming in to repair. Pluto doesn't repair. So Pluto rules Scorpio. Scorpios, we don't repair. We don't repair stuff, meaning it is a death and rebirth. And what we do is that we bring things in, we uncover, we unearth, and we want to bring it to something better. So with Pluto, the death and rebirth is linked to Persephone. Persephone's myth about being kidnapped and being taken to the underworld by Hades. And she has to go through all of this death and to come through the 7 stages for when she comes into her rebirth. And she had to go down and stay down there until she was brought up by the light and to be reborn stronger and wiser. This is the process of Pluto. And this is where you can also look at it when a tree falls in the middle of the forest. It falls and the wood rots. And then what happens is that it doesn't do anything until it rots and goes into the earth. Then it allows for it to fertilize that earth for new life to come in. And that's why it sort of takes a longer time for it transiting and to bring in this rebirthing and bring in this process. So, as we go through this, this is where we are going to be looking at the US economy and, of course, the world. The US economy is not just the United States, the US economy is attached to all of us, it's attached to the world. And this is linked, as I'm going to say, globally. And Pluto takes this down to the bare bones. And that's what he's going to be doing. We're starting to feel this, and we're starting to feel it coming down to the bare bones. And this is to rebuild it, but in a different format, something better, and something to change in more into a new permanent way. How that's going to look or how that's unfolding, it's yet to be seen. We're not too sure. But Pluto at 27 degrees is going to be triggered by a full moon in Aries in October. This full moon in Aries is at 27 degrees and 26 minutes of Aries on October 20th. It's 6 minutes away. 6 minutes, not a degree away. So in geometry, 6 minutes is pretty damn close. And this is where the sun, moon, and they're going to be in Libra. And then we're going to have the sun in Libra, the moon in Aries, and the sun is going to conjunct also Mars. And we're also going to have where the moon is going to conjunct Eris. So this is a big square. This is a big transiting of energy. And with this Pluto and also the native Pluto, this is a massive cardinal energy of change and direction. So now we have now activated, as we are in this Libra season, we are beginning to activate the Libra, the Aries, and the Capricorn energy for a full change and transformation of energies. And with this energy, this is where the action is a warrior energy. And this is where the energy is ruled by Mars. And at the full moon on October 20th, the sun, moon, Mars, Eris is going to square Pluto. Now, this is where there is also where I've talked a little bit about this other little dwarf planet, which is the brother of Pluto, that's going to come in, and his name is Ixon. And Ixon is moving back into Capricorn over the world axis late in October. Now, he did this move last year, and he moved into Capricorn during March and April of last year of 2020, which was right around when the pandemic and the lockdowns were all starting to happen. So we have major energy that's coming in, and that we are going to be feeling as we are starting to get into October. And how that changes that we are going to be seeing and things going to be revealing around us on a global stage. Now, this isn't going to happen. This is where major stock markets might drop as well. Something similar, something that's going to be very much in the public eye, that's going to be happening. And we're going to start seeing little things. And in October, we're going to start seeing a lot of energies that are going to be coming in. Now, with those energies, remember I said October is going to be the energies for what's going to bring us into 2022, right? And are we going to be locked down forever? So with this, hang on. With this is where it isn't just the transformation of the economy that is beginning in October. Really, this is a 6-month project. And the themes around taxes, debt, default, economic consequences of the pandemic, control for higher taxes. Now remember, what did the colonists do? This is an echo of that time. This is an echo of a time of segregation and separation that not only happened in 1776 for the Constitution, but this is also correlating to 1860 when the United States had the revolution of separating the North and the South. Now we are starting to see this, but only it's not just on within the United States. This is heading into a global theme of transformation and change that is going to be vibrating throughout the world. In creating this change and in creating a economic change. And this is where the power is given back to the people. This is the power of the people. This is Saturn in Aquarius. And Saturn in Aquarius is goodness, grassroots. So this is throwing off the oppressor and the tax and the financials. So we have this energy that's building here. We also have Saturn on the south node of the natal chart of the United States, which is in Aquarius. So this is all about these changes and these transformations that are coming forward. This is about Saturn saying, looking at the collective and how we are going to come together in the collective and bringing in those changes. Now, Pluto's brother is kind of a rebel. He doesn't like to be told what to do. He doesn't like the rules, and he doesn't like, especially somebody of authority, telling him what is good and bad. So he's coming in with a little bit of rebellion here. Plus, we are activating Mars and the energies of what Mars is wanting to bring. Mars is wanting to bring in the justice. Mars is wanting to bring in the balance, since Mars is in Libra right now. And with this activation, along with the sun, is bringing up all of this energy. And we also have Mercury retrograde until October 21st. So it's all of this energy is coming up that's pushing us into a new headwind that's taking us on a new trail. Wouldn't it? So this is like where we're coming into where the constricted 6 months, it's like a vortex. And we're coming into a vortex. And the vortex is at a 3D level. And it's demolishing the old for new to go. Now this government, not just economic, makes about taxes, and this is also where it's intrinsic on some kind of change that's going to be happening within the government in December. We're not sure what that change is going to be, but there is some change coming. And then on December 4th, there is a total solar eclipse at 12:22 of Sagittarius, 1 minute of that of the United States ascendant. 1 minute. So basically, this solar eclipse, which we are also going to start feeling about a month beforehand, is going to be on the ascendant of the United States. Now, the reason I brought that up earlier of where Pluto was on the ascendant, right? This is bringing in where it's going to bring in sudden, unexpected change. And this could be where sometimes the eclipse kind of clips something out that we don't change, but it also is setting forth a 6 months of energy and what that 6 months is going to unveil for us all. And this is a big moon. This is a big, like a big new moon, and born at this time. And this is about a rebirth of identity. And we're going to be seeing a rebirthing of what the United States stands for. And I believe, partially with what's coming in here, something to do with the Constitution and a rebirthing of something to do with the Constitution. Now, as Pluto is tightly on this midheaven, like we have the advanced solar arc too, which is, if you're in more advanced astrology, the advanced solar arc with the Pluto is tightly on the midheaven at 1 degrees 10 minutes of Libra. That is a fundamental change in government. And that's where the Pluto is. So Pluto is just coming in very hard, coming in and saying change has to happen. Something new has to come in. And he doesn't put a Band-Aid over it. He actually comes in to dismantle it. And this is reinforcing all of this. And the theme is Venus in December in Capricorn. Now, Venus has a lot to do with money. And she has a lot to do with how we work with money. I mean, she's a ruler of Taurus, which is the ruler of the second house, right? So our relationship with money, and she works with relationships. So we have Venus, and Venus in December in Capricorn on December 19th, 26 degrees of Capricorn. And this is with money, banking, currency, payments, relationships. She's going to retrograde at that time. And she will retrograde with relationships and economic systems, exactly conjunct Pluto on Christmas Day at 25 degrees and 43 minutes, 2 degrees off of the U.S. natal Pluto. This is the third exact that's going to be coming in, the third exact square with Saturn and Uranus on December 24th. So here we have a whole change with the old and the new. Wanting to bring in the new, wanting to bring in something different. And with Venus retrograde. Now, Venus retrograde goes retrograde for 40 days. So we have this energy that historically linked to the economic vitality for businesses. So this is a hard aspect, and anything to do with, especially when Saturn and Pluto are having to come in together, and then we'll just throw Uranus. This is sudden change. When the 2008 came in, there was a very clear message with Pluto. And with that Pluto and Saturn. So there was a clear message of what needed to happen and needed to change. And that was in 2008 when the economic crash came with the housing market. And then Venus retrograde is conjuncting Pluto and natal Pluto through the 11th and to January 2nd. So this is a long time for her to be here. Like she's going to be in here for till March 3rd. And she usually is only like 1 day. Like she only transits over a planet for 1 day. So this transit with the Pluto conjunct natal Pluto, and this is going to come exact in February. And this is going to bring in where the strong theme of a new economic system is being born. So there's some kind of new system that's coming in. It's being born, the economic turbulence for the purpose, and some kind of rebirth and resurgence, which we're going to start seeing more in March of next year. And it's going to take some time to stabilize it. It's going to take some time to stabilize all of this. This is like we're coming in and we're shaking things up. And Saturn in Aquarius is saying we want to shake this up for humanity and bring in the consensus of unity. And on November 19th, there is a lunar eclipse with Taurus and Scorpio. So the nodes are going to change in January of 2022. And when the nodes change for 2022, this is money, currency, and other money and wealth and taxes rebirth. The last time we had a Taurus and Scorpio was in 2004 to 2006. And that was when things were starting to slowly dismantle when it came to the stock market. And people had to take really crazy risks in order to make things happen. This 27 degrees, there is this one beautiful goddess that's coming in. And this beautiful goddess is at 27 degrees Libra. And she's in a long-term T-square with Pluto and Eris. Her name is Harmari. Harmari is the mother of Pele. She is a Hawaiian goddess, and she is linked to fertility and connecting to nature. So we're going to see a lot coming up when it comes to nature and what is happening with nature. So we're going to be seeing also when not only with the economy when it comes to economics and money, but we're also going to be seeing a lot to do what happens with the environment. And as it's not going to be a virus lockdown, it's going to be an environmental one. Environmental because the changes in the environment are going to be needed. We're going to be seeing things happening within the environment. We're going to be seeing things on what is going to for electricity, for oil and gas, and all of that is going to be starting to come up as well. So, but she also is a beautiful energy that can create things anywhere. That's the beauty of her. And I was watching a video, and it was on storage unit or storage container farming, and how this one person, what he's doing is that he's buying containers, which are really expensive right now. He bought some before, but he's doing hydroponics, and he's getting them all set up, and he's doing hydroponics farming in his in these storage units. So this is where we are starting to see new and innovative things that are coming in. And this is where, for her, she's in this, it's called the Kuiper belt, which is just beyond Neptune, which is the quantum field. So she's a very positive, she's about nature, she's about abundance. So this is a surge of regeneration of energy and rebirth. She's coming in amongst all of this. So we have this beautiful Mother Nature, Pele, coming in, and that is our theme for the next 6 months, along with Kali. So Pele's mom is going to be the theme, the goddess theme for the next 6 months as we're going into the new year. She's the goddess of rebirth. She's a goddess that brings in, she has babies off of all parts of her body. She just like, here we go, a baby for you, a baby for you. Here we go. We're bringing in new life. And that is that resurgence. So this is the energy that's coming in with all of this. And it is involved with the full moon on October 20th. And she's 27 degrees of Libra, and she's piling in with the sun and moon and Mars and Pluto. She's piling in. This is her coming in, trying to bring in this balance of saying, let us go into a frequency that is going to bring us the abundance. But the abundance is Earth. It's Gaia. Gaia is the abundance. Mother Earth, the rebirthing of what Mother Earth is. In amongst all, when we look at everything else coming down and something new coming in when it comes to the economic energies of change and transformation, and when it comes to the changes when it comes to government. So as we're stepping into our lovely October, October is bringing this forward for us. As we're stepping into this vibration of change, it is a time for us to really align with the higher frequencies. Because as I said earlier, there are frequencies that are coming in that they're just through the roof. Like they're crazy. And it's stepping forward within those new frequencies, and the change is starting to happen. So it's kind of like I was gonna say, it's kind of like puberty. You can't stop it. We can't stop the economic change that's coming forth. We can't stop things that need to be taken away. We can't stop that because it needs to happen in order for us to create a better world. This is where we're stepping out of that Piscean energy, and that Piscean energy was, about the martyr and the, bowing before something greater or someone greater than ourselves. This is where we're coming into a community of bringing in heart-minded energy to create something more harmonious, bringing into a centeredness of where we are wanting to come together, and nobody is higher or lower. This is coming into a whole new energetic field, and we're at the grassroots of it. So we are at the grassroots of change and transformation in all of this, and bringing in the change and the transformation for the future generations. So just like those who came who wanted a change in the world, we too are wanting a change in the world. But how do you want that change to be? And that's where we project our thoughts and our energies into something that is better than what is now, and going forward in that way. I gotta move to Mercury for a bit. And this is where it's, also retracing your steps, taking this time to realigning. Now, I have done a Libra new moon and an Aries full moon workbook if you're interested. And they are $10. So if you're interested in those, please let me know. All of this that's coming forward, and I've been kind of watching, seeing how things are going to unfold. This is bringing in the unfolding of how we are wanting to make the changes in our lives. So how do we want to step forward? How do we want to make these changes in a positive way, and go into that direction? So that's how I see the charts, and that's how I see it. How the energy goes in the direction that we want to move all comes up to each of us individually and collectively, and going into the changes. It's puberty. We can't stop puberty. We can't stop those changes. We can't stop the changes of our body. We can't stop gravity. So, yeah, I will be coming more with the energies of the new moon and talking to you more about the new moon in Libra, and the the full moon in Aries. So we are being activated, and it's like we're being called for something greater than ourselves. And it is for us to quantum leap into this energy. This is a quantum leap of cosmic energy that we're stepping up and into. And it's uncomfortable and we're not used to it, and it's all a whole new suit, and it's all a whole new type of vibration, and a lot has to come apart in order for the newness to come in. So sending you guys out so much love. Um, you can Google and look up the natal chart of the United States, and click on it, and you can take a look at it for yourself. And it's pretty interesting to see, to look at it and see the different things that are transiting. And when they wrote the Constitution of the United States, when it was written, Pluto wasn't even discovered. Pluto, they didn't even know existed. So this is the other part too. So I think if Benjamin Franklin knew Pluto was there, he'd probably be wanted to wait a little bit longer. But I mean, it takes 246 years for a transiting Pluto to move around to have a conjunction like this. And many other places have different charts, like the UK has several, because of so many dynasties and kings and queens up and down falling. So there's many different ones, and same with China. China has many different ones for many different dynasties. um, so there is a lot of changes that are happening and coming forward for us, and we are stepping into the new earth. And that's where Haumea, Haumea, is the new earth. Like, she's the mother of Pele. She brings in that new earth and that birthing, and so does Pele. Pele brings in the new earth and brings in that energy. Kali right now is just activating the changes and transformations that need to start to happen and starting to bring in those changes. Hathor is letting us see the crossroads. But we have this motherly energy that's coming in, that's overseeing it all. And being the mother of Pele, we know that Pele is not exactly, she's got a little bit of issues too. But this is where I feel like I'm also seeing with the transiting in a lot of these energies, it's a very tribal um energy. And with a lot of the different dwarf planets that are coming forth, what I've noticed is that they are either Polynesian, like her. She's Polynesian. She's a Polynesian energy, or Sedna, Sedna, the Inuit goddess of the ocean. She's also coming in and making some really heavy aspects with all of this. And for her, she's coming in with the ocean energy. So we're going to be seeing a lot of energy to do with the oceans over the next little while too, and how that is being activated with everything. And of course, Uranus makes his entrance. And when he makes his entrance, we never know what's going to happen. He's making some changes, and we're not sure exactly how this is going to, because you think it's going, if you think you got it together, that's when Pluto asks you, are you sure you got it together? Are you really sure you know what direction you're going into? Because if you do, what about this? And he's going to bring something else for you. But the beautiful thing when you're working with Pluto and you're working with his energy, there's always a beautiful reward from it, because you've worked hard and you've done the work and you've gone through the process. So through that, when we say he's a phoenix, he rises from the ashes. But what do you see is this beautiful transcendent bird, this bird that brings in this divine energy and bringing us forth into something that is new. The process is uncomfortable. The process is uncomfortable. And poor Chantal, sweet goodness, calling us. And his thing is that it doesn't have to be the colonists. It could be any type of energy that causes a change. That causes a change that's happening. And it's the people uniting together to make that change to create a new future. So, my loves, there you go. And I thought I'd come in and share with you what I've been working on today. My poor little Mateus has been sick. He's been throwing up all day today. I think his tummy's finally settled down now. But it's been quite a day with him. He's not he every time I feel but poor little baby. He gets so upset because he starts crying because he's just like 'cause he can't control it and he doesn't like throwing up. And we're like, well, nobody likes throwing up, but he gets so emotional over it. It's like you just want to hold him. So so it's been that kind of day. And then just working on this chart and figuring out all the information. Um, I still say I'm a junior astrologer with all of this. So I had to do a little bit of research and into what the different, what this all means and how is that going to affect. And as I was looking into it and seeing how the energies from 9/11 and where the planets were when 9/11 happened and how that changed everything on how we fly. Hence, we have the South Node right now in Sagittarius. So all of this energy coming in and this changing of the transit from the South Node into Scorpio too brings in, a lot of energy that has us to even go deeper into the depths of what we have to look at within our own lives, within the world. But this is on world points, so this is global. So remember when I told you that the Mafia Brothers last year or 2019, I started talking about the Mafia Brothers were coming in and it's on the world point and they're going to make a global change and this huge change that's coming in. Now I'm letting you know that here comes Venus in amongst all of this, a beautiful goddess, but a goddess who doesn't like to be told what to do, a goddess who likes to have her nice things. It's coming in and dealing with Pluto, plus the natal Pluto, plus Eris, the goddess of discord. So she's dealing with that. So she's coming in and dealing with all of this energy to bring in the change that needs to come in and how we are with our relationships. So that's why it's so important to have positive relationships that are around you, people who support you and you support them. This is very important to look at your economic system and your own, many I've different podcasts and preppers have all taught, said that money might be non-existent in some way. So this is where, starting to look at, okay, what can I trade? What can I have? So this is going to be an interesting new world that we are creating and an interesting world that's going to bring in a lot of things transiting. So I know when it comes to the stock market, many that advisors that I have followed or just watch, they're very leery about the stock market at this time, except for I think they're like if you're investing in like lithium mines or something like that, which is an interesting thing too. So there is lots that like unfolding for us. So up to you. Guilty. I cry when I throw up to you. Must be my Gemini thing. Yes. Okay. But it is it is a lot. It is a lot. And I know, but the reason I come in and I tell you guys what's going on, the reason why I'm doing this is to give you a heads up, to give you knowing that you have the strength and the courage to do this, to have you have a better connection with the earth and to make sure that you do have what you need, as we're heading into crazier times, right? That you do have stocking up. I mean, right now in parts of China, they're having outages, electrical outages. Like they're already having outages right now because they can't sustain the power or the power is not there, which is very interesting. So this is telling, letting me know, and I'm seeing that, and I'm just like, oh, okay, well, that has a lot to do with what I can see happening here. And many times people will say, well, that can't happen in Canada. That can't happen in Canada. Well, yeah, it can. So it's knowing your neighbor. It's, making sure that you have different things that you may need over the winter, because we don't know what the long haul is going to be like and how this is going to unfold for us all. And especially when it comes to the economic crisis that's coming forward. And I mean, this is a crisis that, in my feelings, my feelings, is worse than the Great Depression of the 1930s. That's what my feeling is. This is only the starting of the craziness of what happened in the 1930s. So we are on this energy of huge change. But in there, if you begin to not look at the crisis part, but look at where there are advantages. Look at where there are times where you are able to step into some advantages. And that's where we're going to see where people are going to gather together with co-ops and different ideas, and even bringing in maybe even land purchases. That's community. That's where the community comes in. Because in the 30s, the last time was mainly Pisces, right? So it's all about listening to this person, this person, this person, being the martyr. This energy isn't about being the martyr. This energy is about coming together as a community in some way and creating that community. That's where it's at. And if we are able to do that, if we are able to come together in that type of harmony, as the I gotta say her name, I'm not gonna say it right. Hamia is coming into that higher vibration of the quantum energy. There can be something very beautiful there for us. That's where we need to step forward into it. So this is where, even, for the longest time I've been saying, don't have faith in the government. Well, a lot of people already know that, but some people do. And I know some people are in an economic crisis right now. Personally, they're in a position where there is things happening in their life, and this is where you have to start getting creative and to create something new. So, my loves, I think that's a lot. Um, and I know this is a lot for many of you to digest. So take your time in digesting it. Remember, we're we're on the cliff. We're all on the cliff. We're all there. And this is where the changes in humanity are beginning to happen even stronger. So, my loves, I'm going to love you. I'm going to send you out so much blessings and showering you. And if you are needing, definitely, if you're needing coaching or spiritual coaching, that's what I do. Let me know. I have different packages on the Guru Mama. I have a conjuring class that's going to be coming up on the 16th of October. So if you are wanting to go into the conjuring class, let me know. It's a 1-day class on a Saturday, because we're going to talk about bringing in protections. We're going to talk about doing different energies to bring us into that energy, that level, and also working with our ancestors and bringing in the energies of our ancestors to help us to create the abundance that we would like to have, and the prosperity and the joy and the bliss and the romance and all of that. So, if you're interested in my conjuring class, let me know. That happens on the 17th or 16th, I should say. And I'll be putting up little ads again, all my little ads. So, and that class is $50. And there's only a few spaces left in Passing Through the Veil. I think there's only 2 or 3 spots left for that class. And so if you're interested in that, that's on the 29th. So a lot of spiritual stuff coming in for you, a lot of spiritual energy that I want to bring for you in order for us to get grounded and to take the quantum leaps into the next adventure of our lives. Have a blessed one, and we will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.